All right, Alex, are we recording? Oh, yeah,
we're recording.
Let's
Here we go. All right, this is episode 1 of Invincible.
Invincible.
Invisible.
And I will start, Heather.
Hold on. This is DicWahlChardye.
DicWahlChardye.
This is the show club.
DicWahlChardye.
Oh
Yeah.
God. I actually kind of like it. DicWahlChardye. Yeah, it's got dicks. It's got a wall. It's got Shardy. Yeah.
All right,
sounds
Dan, what
perfect.
you got? So you're doesn't like anime.
Yeah, somebody who really doesn't care for anime, and as Max said, this doesn't really count as anime. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good episode. I did a nice job of introducing the characters. It was interesting how they started without not the main character and then eventually moved towards Mark and Omni-Man as the main characters. They did not start that way at all. They introduced the Guardians, which I was like, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really care for the Guardians. I was like,
let's talk about
that's
the
just
Guardians for a second.
That's a knockoff Flash. That's a knockoff Batman. Come on, yo.
Okay, so we had Darkwing. Darkwing was his name?
Darkwing, yeah.
Right here.
Yep.
Batman.
He was Batman on a surfboard.
Yeah.
Yep.
He had the Red Rush, which is the mix between. I thought it was Wolverine.
Wonder Woman.
We had Wonder Woman and Hawkgirl mixed together.
Yeah. Wonder Woman and Hawkgirl. And then Martian.
What about the green?
Man, but he was just a fish.
Yeah.
He was a fish. I love that he was just underwater chilling in his throne by
himself.
Finally, some action.
Hooray! It's so funny.
Oh man.
And then
everyone.
They had Alien Mr. Fantastic. He could stretch himself.
Oh, yeah, we had Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, Martian, but he couldn't phase. The phasing was for the Green Lady, who was
I was gonna say the phasing was the Green Lady.
Yeah, you made me think Green Lantern, but didn't have Green Lantern powers, so it was just kind of we give her phasing. That's it. She just phases.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how are we going from the beginning of the episode?
I think that would be best if we kind of save the ending, because the ending obviously is the ending, and that's the best part.
Right.
We should kind of make our way through. Mac, it's been a while since you've seen it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've gone back and watched it a few times, but more so the ending fight than anything else, obviously. But I've seen it. I like the they make Omni-Man, they show him as this family man guy, and all of a sudden he just turns around and you're just
so
what the
there
fuck
was some things that I saw that kind of led to the ending. One was
right. So it's in the middle of that battle, right? Yeah. Of they all look over and it's Omni-Man is there to help, but nobody trusts him to actually do the job, right? So there's clearly some weird disconnect between the Guardians and Omni-Man. Yeah.
Someone threw the people up in the air, and
Immortal.
Immortal threw the
guy.
people up in the air he was going to go catch them in a sec, and then Omni-Man came and caught him, and Immortal was like, what are you doing?
Oh, I had it, right?
Bro.
Didn't he say I got it, or I would have had it?
Yeah.
I would have had it, yeah.
Okay.
And then the other part was when he's at school and you can see the posters and stuff in his locker, and his buddies you still love Omni-Man, always rooting for the underdog, right?
I did not. I'll tell you what, I didn't notice any posters in the locker. I did not notice that.
I don't think the posters themselves were that important of what was on the posters, but were more to demonstrate that he clearly idolized superheroes, specifically Omni-Man, obviously, because of who he is. But it was his buddy that made the comment of it almost being Omni-Man was the alternative hero, the underdog, I think was the phrase he used, isn't part of the mainstream. And so we still obviously don't know why that is. For how
ladies,
right? Especially.
He's clearly stronger than even he dicked on the Wonder Woman and think about it this way, right? He beat all of them in the matter of
Mac.
Huh?
He didn't beat him yet.
Oh, are we still talking about the intro?
The only other thing that I wanted to say was the transition to it. So you could kind of see the two periods that I noticed were that you could sort of see Omni-Man going the wrong way. Was when he punched his son, Mark.
Ladies.
Put him. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Wrecked him.
I didn't mean to give you it all, but just like poof.
It was excellent.
Right to the chest. And then the second one is when he yelled at his wife. So we see at the beginning.
Something's up.
Beginning, like, hey, we're gonna fly to wherever they flew to, France,
Germany, right?
France. And then afterwards, he's like, "What are you gonna do about it?"
Well, keep in mind he does mention that he's an alien.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, yeah, that probably plays.
But he also like. There was also obviously this almost like, I think it was probably from Omni-Man's perspective, like relief that his son wasn't going to get powers. Because there was this weird thing, right, where he's like, oh, on the surface, like reassuring, like everybody gets them by the time they hit 18 or whatever the hell it was.
Yep.
Like, don't worry about it. I promise you'll get him. But then when he does, he's like not excited at all. But his wife is also not excited at all and kicks him. So he says something, and then the last thing before he goes to bed is like, we all would have been better off if he had never gotten powers, which suggests that he actually wasn't guaranteed to get powers. And there's big issue with him now also being assuming so, being equivalent in power to his dad.
Right.
Or to any of the other people from the planet.
Sure. Then they had the nice little father-son connection where they were playing baseball around the globe.
That was fun.
Right, which is hysterical.
That was so
also
funny. I was
kind of
dying
weird, though,
laughing.
and scary, because when he throws it, we don't see Omni-Man's throw, but then we see Mark's throw, and it goes through a mountain, and it almost hits a plane.
Right.
There was no reason to show it. It just felt like, I get it was for power, but it just felt like there was something more they were trying to show.
Yeah.
Mac, I bet you could throw a baseball that far.
About I could throw it over that mountain over there. Back in my prime.
I could do that
But not around the
world.
Yeah, no, it's a good point though. It is. It's like, is that just a brief little reminder of like the power that these two people carry, or is it like a harbinger of things to come that like destruction will be wrought in their wake? If like a simple game of catch can almost kill an entire plane of people.
Wow. Right? Wow, what a connection. But yeah, I mean, it very well could be alluding to that fact, right?
Right.
And then the only other thing that I saw was when he was doing the vigilante bit, I wanted to go over. He said anything to his son after he was like, you could have done better. What did he say? Does anyone remember?
I thought he. No, I don't. I don't remember specifically.
Max,
say it again.
You didn't need to have as much destruction. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Oh, his first fight where he said he didn't need to. Yeah, you could have been better about it. I actually have the episode up right now.
Oh, okay. Just watch that real quick while we're on.
I mean,
well, I can click to parts and stuff.
Yeah. Dan, what do you do?
Yeah, he goes, you might as well give up. And then every time he says his name, it goes to the, yeah. I just gave away episode 2 and 3. They do that in 2 and 3, sorry.
Ladies. Max.
Yeah, whenever he says his name, it goes to the Invincible loading screen thing. Yes, sorry, splash screen.
What doesn't someone
every
else do
time?
that?
Huh? Like, who is that? That's, and then it goes splash screen. Yeah.
All right. I guess we can talk about.
I can't find it. What he says.
Let's
all right, dude. That final scene, man. That was.
So getting into that final, into the final scene, when they show everyone, I was like, "This is
silly."
Showing every single person, like we know who they are. We don't need a kind of building of this, and then it goes to the final scene where Omni-Man just destroys everyone.
Well, see, I like their one-on-one that they did with Red Rush, because they really show up front like this guy really is insane. He's actually processing, right? Every second of his life is actually like to us multiple hours, like every second. Yeah. And they really drive that home. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really drive that home, that he's like seeing everything in slow-mo. And that's why I like that's why you can watch the fight over and over and over again. Like you can tell. And there's a funny quote. I don't know who said it in one of the superhero But the quote that I see people requote all the time in that video when I rewatch it is you always take the speedster out first, right? Because the speedster is, I mean, he was saving everybody. That fat Aquaman guy, like he saved him like 3 times. He just like kept moving him. And Omni-Man's like, all right. You could see Omni-Man getting frustrated because he's looking around. He's like, all right, I got to
Ladies.
out. And so he starts like looking around and he finally grabs his hand. And obviously once he grabbed him, rest in peace, Red Rush.
Okay,
GG.
I got to talk about the fact that how can all of these superheroes be together and they can't take out Mustache Superman?
Well, think of
I
so
like it.
the way
I
he
think
did
we
it.
should call him Mustache Superman. I like that.
Omni-Man's not as good. Yeah. But I think what they did here, I actually read up on this a little bit on the side. All they did was essentially show like if Superman really
Ladies.
wanted to kill the Justice League, this is how he could, and it literally would happen within a few minutes. Like he'd be able to do it. That was like the idea of what this show was kind of trying to do, I think. And like look at, I do have some complaints though, right? But here's the thing: they don't know Superman's kryptonite. They haven't shown that. Obviously, they showed that like even when they found out Omni-Man was going fuck that shit. Batwing, the Batman copy, he didn't have. Yeah, Darkwing. He didn't have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't have a plan.
Oh, Batwing.
Batwing. Oh my God, Batwing.
You're right, though, man.
yeah.
Yeah, they show like he had no plan. I'm like, if it came out of left field like that, which clearly it did, how do you prepare for that?
I mean,
Yeah,
Right.
so that was the other thing I wanted to mention too from that is like there's a moment I think where like he maybe has killed Red Rush and he's starting to like mess up other people, and like Beard Guy and fake Wonder Woman have a conversation where it's like it's us or him. So it was which was like a weird kind of, because in my head I was like, yeah, that's implied, like he's killing people indiscriminately.
But no,
right
the Immortal.
But
they had it because Immortal was like someone must be controlling him. He wouldn't do this after he
Right.
like splattered Red Rush's brains everywhere.
Oh, right. You're right,
Immortal
right.
was like
I
someone must
forgot
be
about that.
controlling
That's a
him.
good point.
Yeah.
Right. So
Do you
yeah,
think that that's
right,
even
that was the other part
possible?
because somewhat like this, they clearly did not, even though they clearly have an odd relationship with Omni-Man and are like very fringe friends with him, this was still unexpected from their perspective. Even if they didn't trust him for whatever reason, like this level of debauchery was like never, right? That's why like exactly him saying that, like someone has to be controlling him. There's no way this is the Omni-Man that they know, but that's all that they know of him. But it's weird. Like it like obviously that's why it was so good, and that's why I texted the group immediately to be like, I need to watch the next episode. Like it gives you that question of who the hell is this guy and why would he do something so heinous so quickly with like no explanation.
So
like, there's obviously
So to
more
that
going
point-
on.
So to
that's
that
what I want to
point,
talk about
Dave,
too.
do you think, here's what I'm thinking. Do you think it was because Mark, the kid, getting powers what made him flip the switch?
That's the only thing that changed.
Oh,
That's the only thing that changed. I agree.
Oh, you're
The only
right.
thing-
I hadn't
Mark
even
getting
thought
the power.
about.
Yeah, but why? I still don't understand. Like, okay, you're still
Right.
Omni-Man. Like, you still have all the cool powers, and then
Unless-
your kid gets it. Okay, cool. But
Right.
how does your kid getting powers impact the fact that you need to take out all the other supers? What?
It's probably because I'm guessing it's because he's some
says the guy
alien.
who's already seen 5 episodes.
Well, no, that's the thing though. In those episodes, it's not even. It's just kind of like, oh, back to
Ladies.
like I don't want to ruin it. There's still obviously a bunch of shit that happens, but like even right now, I have
Ladies.
right. But I think it's because an alien, like he's an alien.
Yeah, something
Right.
alien.
I have something
control.
else.
So there
I
was
have another
also
theory.
that.
Culture.
There's also
alien,
the weird thing about that alien culture where he's like, people on my planet, like once we reach maturity and get our powers, we're all sent to our own world to protect. And like Earth was mine that I got sent to. And so I'm curious if there's also a side of things that's like him being upset that there are already protectors who were presumably born and raised on Earth and got their powers through one way or another, such that like he really wasn't needed to protect and help the planet. Like maybe some of his like comrades from home were. Maybe that factored in somehow, because it was very much just like this, oh, this is from this glorious planet we come from, and then we go and we rescue planets. But like, there's obviously so much more to that they haven't unpacked yet. And so I'm curious how that's going to play into it as well.
Okay, so I have a theory, a different theory. I think that Mark is also somehow tied to it, other than for the fact that like he got the powers and now Omni-Man and Omni-Man is just mad that he got his powers. I think Mark might actually, like, in their culture, your son kills off or like makes you go crazy. Mark had a moment with the mother where he's make me.
I loved what the mother did to just like put him down. Like, okay, if you want to,
Ladies.
and does that make you feel better?
Yeah.
Like, she just put him right in his place. Like, okay, so yeah, you can. I don't. All right. It was an interesting dynamic.
The writing, I like the first half of the show, you're like, all right, this is kind of generic. It's cool. I don't really know what's happening. It's obviously the end of the show that really hooks you. But like that scene in particular is like a very like believable like conversation that you could see happening between someone who married an alien and now has a superhero son. Like, it absolutely sounded real.
Yep.
Even like, it allows you to suspend disbelief and like see that absolutely could happen. And it was very a relationship, and I loved that. I absolutely loved that scene.
I agree. Are we surprised that the mom's name isn't Martha?
It should be.
What is her name?
I don't remember. Mac.
Oh,
Mac, what's the
Don't
name?
Her name's Mom.
She had
Look
bags
it
under her
up.
eyes. Like, they did
She did have bags under her eyes.
it look real. Like you were saying, it's a very realistic scene in this world of superheroes that are all copies of something else.
The voice acting in general is also fantastic, at least for those three. Like, Omni-Man is J.K. Simmons, who's incredible, right? Mark is Stephen Yeun. I don't know if you guys ever actually watched Walking Dead or not, but he was a huge character in Walking Dead, and is from Troy. He's from Troy, Michigan.
Oh,
guess what? He went to Troy High School. Stephen Yeun is the guy that. Yeah.
Is it the director? The director of Walking Dead, I think.
What'd you say, Mac?
I think the director of The Walking Dead directs this show.
Yeah, one of them is. Yeah, it's is it Kirkman?
I'm not sure.
No,
the woman's name, by the way,
one that overlaps.
Her name's Debbie Grayson. Debbie.
And then she's voiced by the actress, I can't remember her name, who was on
Sandra Oh.
Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, Sandra Oh, right? She was on Grey's Anatomy forever. So she's also like a very established actress, like
Nice.
Lots of stuff under her belt. So like they clearly have a very good cast, which is awesome because like it's an animated show. You don't feel like you don't normally see that. Besides like Mark Hamill doing everything.
Dude, who was he in this? I saw his voice, but I didn't.
No, I don't know if Mark Hamill was in this. I was just
no,
saying
he was
just because he's been in animated
my
stuff.
God,
Was he really?
Mark Hamill was someone. I saw it because I accidentally paused it on when I only watched half the episode the first time.
Dude, someone look it up. I'm curious.
Same. Amazon tells you all the people.
Mark Hamill was Art.
Oh, he's the guy.
Oh, right, yeah. He's the guy that designs the suits.
He's
Oh, was he?
Edna Mode.
Yeah.
He's Edna Mode.
Yeah.
All right. So
that's awesome.
I liked it overall. You know, I tell you what, as the non-anime person perspective, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a very good episode.
And Al, do you see why I was upset? Why you only watched half?
Also select animated show.
I'm sorry, D, say that again?
I said, yeah, but you still have liked animated shows. It's not like this is that far out of your wheelhouse.
Right. I mean,
it's not. It's really not.
League. Yeah.
Yes, I have liked my fair share of cartoon shows.
So
animated,
let's go around. Mac, you start. What would you rate the first episode? And then why do you think Omni-Man turned?
So
what's our criteria? Out of 5 or 10 stars?
Gives you more chances.
I like 10 because I want to give it like a 9 for the shock factor that it brought, being so different in a cartoon that like I went into it. I didn't actually look at the I didn't know about the comic, and I didn't even look at the rating, right? But it was after I finished the show when I was like this, like, the fuck
Ladies.
that I looked and I saw that it's only for mature audiences. That's it. And then I actually looked into the comic, and like literally any cover of the comic that you look and see, like it's just
Ladies.
everywhere. Like it's literally a staple of the show is to just
Ladies.
up and, you know, like people swear and stuff a lot. Like I like the fact that it's finally, you know, like a Justice League almost like, but evolved
A grown-up Justice League that you
a grown-up Justice League. Like I'm an adult now. The hero always
Are
fucking
you?
wins. I mean, kind of. Sometimes it depends on the day, right? It depends on what I'm doing. But like the hero always fucking wins. That's just like we're so. I feel like obviously we've seen it so many times.
We're conditioned that way, 100%.
So this comes around, and I'm like, okay, new flavor, finally, right? So I like it. 9 out of 10.
Yeah. All right.
And then why do you think Omni-Man changed?
Alien culture.
Okay. Dan?
Alien culture driven, like you said, you know, like they're supposed to be a protector of the world or something. Maybe his son, there's some competition there, or his son has to teach his son to do something else, and like he has to be the one protector maybe, or something like that. Alien culture.
All right, Dan, what you got?
I kind of like what Mac was saying, where I think we're at a point in our age now where I don't mind seeing Red Rush's eyes being popped out of its socket. I mean, maybe excessive, but I mean, it was kind of cool to see it.
What about Wonder Woman though? How about Wonder Woman? How'd she go?
Oh yeah, just smashes her face into the ground. It was great.
I had to ask Dee for a medical review. Like, would that happen? She coughed. She coughed.
Overall, I enjoyed the show. I personally, at least to start, it took me a while to get over that this is just a knockoff Justice League.
Yep.
It took me so long to be like, where and why, what's the purpose of this? This is just another Justice League. I'm not jiving on it. It's like the first 10 to 15 minutes, I was like, doesn't really do anything for me. Afterwards, and after they developed Mark and Omni-Man a little bit more, I was like, all right, there's a story here. I can kind of see maybe where they're going to take this, which I liked a lot. So for me, the first episode is probably an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm going to keep watching. So I thought the story was pretty cool. It is a little unique. It's a different twist on the superhero thing. As far as Omni-Man being what made him go bonkers, I think it purely has something to do with Mark. It's got to be something with the kid, either in the I don't remember what the alien culture name is, along with what Max said, but I don't Viltrium,
Viltrium, right? Viltrium.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty close. Yeah, so I think it's something related that you can't have two protectors on a planet, or
Ouch.
you know, and so Omni-Man had something a lot. It's something to do with Mark and the relationship between Mark and Omni-Man.
ID.
All right, so yeah, I think Dan hit the nail on the head with my issues with the first maybe half of the episode of it. Just like, there's not really anything new here. I like Steven Yeun. I like the voice acting. It's well animated. It's good, but like really nothing special at all. Obviously, the latter half is like a completely different beast, and why I like lost my shit, texted Mac immediately, and then texted all of you being like, when are we doing this? I need to know what happens. Like, it gives you that like, oh, I want to find out. And not a lot of shows can do that on the first episode even. So for me, I'll probably give it, like, I don't want to give the same as Mac. So I'll give it an 8.9 because I don't want to be above Mac, since he is the one that watched it to begin with. And I do trust his recommendations.
8.9.
So I'll give it a solid 8.9. And as far as Omni-Man losing his shit, I've been trying to think of like what other explanations there are. Because Dan, I loved your and Al, both of you saying like, clearly the thing that changed was his son developing his powers, obviously. So I've been thinking that what if like clearly Omni-Man's evil as shit from that episode's perspective. What if his planet actually sends people to worlds not to save them, but to conquer them? And part of that is trying to figure out like if their powers can be transmitted through the human bloodline, and that by like having a kid with a human, it ensures that his people and humanity are actually compatible and powers can manifest. And now that he's figured out that goal by having a half human son with powers, now he has to.
Ladies,
And the first thing to do that or take it over was to destroy any powerful people that were there to prevent him from doing it.
Shit.
That's my
Well,
theory.
why wouldn't he? I love the theory, but why wait until now?
I don't know, man.
Exactly.
He had to wait because
Yeah.
now
See,
his
about the
son has powers. So now he's confirmed that it
Gotcha.
can go.
So that goes
He
along.
he
That
confirmed-
takes what I said the next step further. Is it something
Yeah,
with Mark?
exactly.
But now
Yeah,
that there's
exactly.
two of them, okay, got you.
He
I
confirmed
like that.
Exactly. So going off the theory that like Mark developing powers was the catalyst for this happening, what could explain his actions? And that's where I'm going.
Agree. I like it.
What were you saying?
All right,
Mac?
Al. Mac, do you have anything to
Mac
add,
said
Mac?
something that we didn't get to hear.
No, I think, yeah, like him gaining powers, I think is a good thing. Cause like that shows that the planet that he was sent to is compatible. Right. I think that actually is a big catch.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
All right, dog. What do you got?
I started writing this stuff down. Like I started writing down every character, not right now, but when I was watching it. I started it at like 2 a.m. That's why I only watched half the episode because I was just kind of done.
ladies,
Dude, so weird.
Dude. So I saw all the Batman that was the exact same. I was like, this is absolutely stupid.
Yep.
I don't even think
Yep.
half the episode. I think like 3/4 of the episode was just this is atypical or this is typical, right? It's just
Mhm.
this is this kid getting powers. Okay, this reminds me of A, B, and C. Oh, he's training A, B, and C. Oh,
Let's see.
how to do it. It's the exact same formula until after credits, right? It's only the coda that actually gives us anything. So
Something significantly different.
yes.
Sure.
Right.
Yep.
So I think we're all getting to the same point. So I'm not going to be the same as Dan. So I'm going to give it an 8.1. Just to change.
You guys are
it.
trash. You guys are such trash.
But again, kind of like what Dixon was saying, you don't really get a good pilot episode ever. My whole rule with shows is always watch 4 episodes and then you can finally start getting into it, start evaluating it and see if it's good or not. So at least you got a first episode that was, even though it's typical, you still get something a little bit different. As far as Omni-Man, we're all going towards the same thing. It's Mark. I'm going to say as soon as your son develops powers, that son then or you change your biochemistry, whatever changes so that you turn from a good guy to a bad guy.
And then your son has to defeat you or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
So Alan, with your theory, does Omni-Man still retain his powers? It's not like his powers are transferred to his son. It's just that the development of his son's powers is going to fundamentally change his own character, his own ideals, his own whatever.
So will it decrease slowly? I'm going to say no, only because that was the biggest ass kicking I think I've ever seen.
Oh my God, dude. The eyes popping out of the head.
It's not even just that, like he killed someone by doing the quickness. He just quickly.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Like other stronger physical ones, it seemed like too. Like it was jacked and could fly. It was throwing
Wolverine,
people in.
flying Wolverine. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just cut.
I have all these nicknames for people, and now they're all dead. But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Hey, we still got Mustache Superman.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, God, we're gonna call him at the whole every one of these. It's awesome. I liked it. It was a good recommendation, Mac. We'll keep on keeping on. I want to find out what's next.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
All right, see you boys there.
Alrighty. Toodles.